All right, let's go through them. We left off last time on the 7-note away perfect fifth, remembering the perfect fifth is the same typically for most major modes and minor modes, and that's going to be our power chord. And so that one's really useful. We're going to go over it whenever we do all the modes. Then we're going to see it coming up multiple times because it's in most of the modes, which is good because we really want to learn that one. And the power chord is really useful because it's kind of ambiguous. So for example, if I was in the Mixolydian mode and I'm like, okay, I know all the notes that I'm in here because I know it's related to the major scale or the A minor, and I know that, or I know the C major. So I know all the notes, but maybe I can't remember whether I build a major or minor chord from all of the notes. Well, I can usually be pretty safe that I can add the fifth because the fifth is ambiguous. It has no third. The third is the distinguishing factor between a major and a minor. So I could basically say, well, I can always just add a fifth and do a power chord. And so that's great unless you hit the Locrian, right? The Locrian is the funny one with the flat fifth. Okay, so that's going to be the idea. So if we're here and I want to go up, then, well, let's take the fifth out here first. It's a 7-note away. Now, note 7 notes away is going to be way up here. So what am I going to do? Instead of going up, that's too far to reach, I'll go behind it, which means I take the inverse distance. So 7 notes away, 12 minus 7 is 5. So if I go behind that, then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to the open D. So here, going back to the open D, if I went from D to G, that would be a 5-note away, which would be a perfect fourth. But if I go from G to D, that would be a 7-note away perfect fifth. Okay, so then let's go up here. Also just realize that the perfect fifth, of course, doesn't have a different name because it's an odd, it's an odd, and we skip every other one from chord construction perspective. So whether we're thinking of it as the interval related to the scale or related to the chord constructions, it's still going to be the 7-note away perfect fifth. Okay, if I go up one string, it's going to be an inverse distance because I'm going up. So that means if it's a 7-note away perfect fifth, 12 minus 7 is 5. One string up because there's a 5-note distance between the strings, except between the B and the G, or depending on which way you go, then it's going to be right above it on the same fret. So if I count it up here, it's just going to be here to here. So if I went from top to bottom, D to G, that would be a 5-note away perfect fourth. But if I go from bottom to top, G to D, that's a 7-note away perfect fifth. Therefore, the 7-note away perfect fifth if I go up one string, the 7-note away perfect fifth will always be on the same fret unless I cross the fault line, which could only happen on the B string because there's the fault line, in which case this tectonic plate shifted to the right, and therefore when I go up one string, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be back one fret. So the 7-note away perfect fifth if I go up one string, the 7-note away perfect fifth is always on the same fret unless I cross the fault line, which only happens on the B string, in which case if I go up one string and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be one fret back. All right, and then if I go up two strings, we're looking for the 7-note away perfect fifth. So we have to take the inverse distance. 12 minus 7 is 5. So it would be, I'm going to say -5, -10, 9, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5. Let's count it up here. So I'm going to say -5, -10, -9, 8, -6, -5. So boom, top to bottom from that D to the G. Well, that's not right. That's not it. It would be -5, -10, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5. There's the D. So top to bottom would be a 5-note away perfect fourth, and therefore bottom to top, 7-note away perfect fifth. Therefore, if I go up two strings, the 7-note away perfect fifth will always be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets out, which is about as far as I can reach while still touching both notes if you have a normal hand size. And so unless you cross the fault line, which I'm going to do on either the B or the E string. So if I was on like this G and I went up two strings, it would be over here. So now it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 frets away. So if I go up 2 strings, the 7-note away perfect fifth will always be 5 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, which is going to happen on the bottom B and E strings, in which case if I go up 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets forward. Okay, so then let's go down a fret. This is possibly the most common directionality power chord shape. So we've got, it would be 5, 6, 7. So if I count it out here, down 5, 6, 7, boom, boom. So there we have that. So if I go down 1 string, the 7-note away perfect fifth will always be 2 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, which could only happen on the G string, in which case, because this tectonic plate shifted forwards, it's going to be further out. So the 7-note away perfect fifth is always going to, if I go down 1 string, the 7-note away perfect fifth is always 2 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, which only happens on the G string, in which case if I go down, if I go down 1 string, the 7-note away, and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth is 3 frets forward in that case. So let's do the next one. We're going to go down to here. So now we're going to say down 2 strings and crossing the fault line. So it's going to be 5, and then I have to cross the fault line this way, 10, 9, 8, 7. Let's count it up here on the guitar, down 5, and then crossing the fault line, 10, 9, 8, 7, right there. So that means if I go down 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth is 2 frets back. What if I don't cross the fault line? I wouldn't cross the fault line going down 2 strings if I was either on the E or the A string. So let's pick this G right here for example. And if I go down 2 strings, I would be over here. So if I go down 2 strings, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be 1, 2, 3 frets back unless I cross the fault line, in which case if I go down 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth will only be 2 frets back. Now this position hopefully looks a little familiar down here because you can add the 3rd right there, and it gives you, that's a nice way to play just the triad, and then you could play the D on top, which looks like that, which is a common way people might see it as an F note shape, but it's really, if you play the whole thing, it's an E, shape bar chord that we're playing the bottom bit from a caged system perspective. But in any case, let's go on to the next one. Let's move on. We've got 3 to go through this time. We have no time for dilly-dallying over here. So we're going to go to the next one. If I go down 3 strings, we go 5, and then shift up here 10, and then 15. 15 minus 12 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Let's count it out this way. So we're here, 5, and then shift up to 10, and then 15. 15 minus 12 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from here to here. And we can also count it by saying, well, would it be easier for me to get to the top string and then just mirror it at the bottom because they're the same tone? We could, but if I go up, then of course we have to think inverse distance. So 7-note away perfect fifth, 12 minus 7 is 5. A distance of 5 would be 5, or -5, -10, -9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Boom. Same thing on the bottom string. So if I go down 3 strings, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be 1. If I go down 3 strings and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets forward. What if I don't cross the fault line? It would only happen on the top string, that I can have room to go down 3 frets without crossing the fault line, unless I go around the top of the guitar, which we're not thinking about right now. Then if I go up 3 strings, 1, 2, 3, it would be here. So if I go down 3 strings, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, in which case if I go down 3 strings and cross the fault line, the 7-note away perfect fifth will be 5 frets forward. Okay, so then let's do the next one.